looking for trouble, I'm the man to see. If you're looking for satisfaction, it's satisfaction guaranteed. I'm as cool as a body on ice, hotter than the rolling dice. Send you to heaven, or take you to hell.
Welcome to Glasgow Apollo Live with Scott and Andy.
Well, good evening and welcome to Glasgow Apollo Live with me, Scott MacArthur.
And me, hopefully. Hopefully here, Andy Muir. Your
We're having,
correspondent.
I don't know if that sounded okay live, but at my end it was going, it was doing all sorts of weird things. I don't know how it sounded for you. My internet and my whole house has been rewired at the moment, and this room, this is fake. The rest of this bit of my house is an absolute shambles. So I hope we get through this. But so thank you very much for joining us once again, everybody. If you're new to the show, please make sure you put your name and where you're tuning in from into the comments. That would be fantastic. Well, what's your week been like, mate?
Flat out, mate.
Busy?
No.
Not busy? Not busy.
Not busy. Oh, no, it was all right. Good.
You're all right, good.
A lot of walking. A lot of walking.
Well, you've got the weather for it. It's not been so good here. I've just agreed to do a 1 week tour of some castles in Scotland in January. That'll be a laugh.
Oh yeah, who are you doing it with?
Oh, one of my university mates, Big Ewan. Do you remember Big Ewan, the boy with the beard? Do you remember him? Oh, hello. He's quite a posh boy. You know, he can't help it. He's still not got over it either. He's still a posh boy, but he's okay. Anyway, what have you been listening to this week?
It's too long to actually tell you, mate.
Well, yeah, but right, I'm going to try and get him to say something sensible one of these weeks. Right, what have you listened to this week that you particularly enjoyed? There you go.
There you go. That's different. That's different. I listened to an Australian band. Ooh, that's a bit weird.
Hey, which one?
Is that for the reaction shots? Do it again. Show a bunch of idiots we are. A couple of idiots. Aussie band called Hiatus Coyote.
Oh, you mentioned them once before. Yeah, quite good.
Oh, their album's brilliant.
Right,
I forgot
okay.
the name of it, but it's amazing. It's amazing,
right, okay.
bro. Their latest album.
Hiatus
Coyote.
Don't know.
I don't know if it's everyone's cup of tea. It's all over the place. It's great. It's amazing.
Ah, right, good.
Yeah.
So anybody sort of in tune all over the place or out of tune all over the place?
In tune, it's great.
All right, okay,
great.
okay.
I love it.
Well, anything else?
Sort of anything that I really liked this week.
This is the pace of the show, folks. It's lightning blinking. It's
it's lightning pace here, mate. Sorry. Well, I was trying to remember what I listened to. It was heaps of stuff, man.
Well,
lots of stuff.
I was the same. I was all over the place.
I tell you what, I was surprised by Cliff Richard.
You were surprised by Cliff Richard?
Yep.
Okay, don't tell us the story because it could end up getting us in the papers.
He sneaked up behind me. Woo! Live album. Cliff Richard live in Japan. I know I'm losing my mind.
You're losing your mind, right?
Well, you know,
I get
start
round
from a low base. Yeah, my mind is a low base, and then you build up from there.
Oh, you're getting feedback from your old man here. Great specs, Andy, from Old Man Muir. There you go.
Thank you. I don't really like them. They're blue. They've got a blue. They take the blue out of the.
Oh, they do too, don't they? Yeah, gosh. Right.
Okay. I don't like that, but that's all I could.
Well, I got.
Find.
Well, did they have? You're lucky. You're lucky they've got glasses in Australia, mate.
Right. It could be just bottles tied to my face.
Yeah, exactly. So I've been listening to right, this lot. Do you know Thunder? This is the gig at Donington in 1990. It was absolutely amazing. And how they're not bigger. I know they've got bigger in the last few years, but what a noise they make. I love them at bits. I'd love to have seen them at the Apollo. But listen to them. Listening to a bit of Nightwish. Not everybody's cup of tea, like you said about the band you were listening to. I think they're pretty cool though. I think they're kind of, do you know their music, sort of symphonic-y sort of stuff?
No. Oh, no.
They're kind of like, listen to this.
You're going to get us. You're going to get us chucked off, mate.
I don't care. I've been reading about it. We're not going to get chucked off. I've been reading about it. See, everybody waving their hands. They're not quite like Coldplay, that sort of stuff. But I like them. Really good.
Okay.
And I was also, and finally, it's not music. I just wanted to play one little thing. There's a few guys that have popped up, obviously including us, during lockdown. And you'll have heard Andy and I speak about Rick Beato a few times, who we both really like. But there's this guy here, I don't know if you've come across it, I think you have. He's starting to do some really good music, and a lot of it from the Apollo guys.
It's the Daily Dog. Hey y'all, welcome back to the Daily Dog.
Now, this guy, Dave Hevering, he's been really good because he's actually a classically trained musician, and he sits with his piano and he plays along. So he has like Metal Monday and Prog Tuesday, and he does all that sort of stuff. Really good. So yeah, I've enjoyed that this week. It's been good. But,
Daily Dog. I don't know him.
The Daily Dog, yeah, he's all right. He's interesting, and he's actually been in contact with Rick Beato, talking about all the bands that are kicking us all off and banning their music, on these sorts of shows. And it turns out, and I didn't know this, and I'm sure some people on the show know it better than we do, but it turns out the younger bands don't do it. It tends to be the Fossils that do it. The Eagles and Zeppelin and AC/DC tend to do it. So quite interesting. And it means that the young folk kind of hear the older music, which is not a good thing. So it just made me think this week. So anyway, we've got a whole lot of folks saying hello. We better say hello to everybody. John's here again. Hi John, where are you in the world this time, mate? You seem to travel around all the time. You've been up in, I think it was Malaysia or something this week, so good to see you. Who's that? Oh, Trouble James is here. That's never going to go well. We've got a Facebook user here who's saying, hi guys. Remember, if you are on Facebook and you haven't been through this before, you might even have to go through it before. I'm really sorry. For the chat to show your name, you have to click that little chat.restream.io/FB. It's at the top of the Facebook group under announcements, if you can't remember that. But it's a pain, but hopefully they're going to sort it. It really is a pain. It's driving me nuts. Tony's here. Hello, Tony. How are you doing? Thanks very much for coming on again, even everybody from him. That's great. Who's this? Hello, Doug from across the water. Nice to see you back. Trouble's in. We've got Boots here. Evening, Ken Dodd and Dr. Muir. Ken Dodd.
Maybe it's your hair.
It is a bit, it is getting a bit bouffant, isn't it? I think you're probably right, actually, Boots. I'm going to get it cut. Barry, how you doing, Barry? Oh, it sounded okay, right? I don't know what causes that. I really don't know what causes it. Hello, downtown Bolton. Facebook user. Well, that's used to live near there. I lived in Northwich, wasn't that far away from there. So welcome. It's the first time you've been here. Trouble's in as well. Bon and Cheryl reporting for duty. Bon, you've been brilliant this week. Thanks very much for supporting the get together on the 17th. Absolutely brilliant. Here's another one. Hi, Jerry Fee. Where's that? Carmyle. Am I being stupid?
Yeah.
I'll be all right. Anyway, hello, Jerry. How you doing? Chris is by. Chris, I have a gig. Thanks for coming along, Chris. Again, missed you last week. Yeah, we're all alive anyway.
Sorry, Scott.
What?
Where's the wee link?
Top of the Facebook announcement, pinned to the top of the announcements.
Yeah.
You got it?
Yeah. I've got it.
Well, I put it in the chat. You're going to put it in the chat for me.
You don't have it in that. You don't have it there, mate.
Oh, it was. Maybe I cut it off.
Aye.
Lindsay's back. Hello, Lindsay. I haven't seen you for a wee while. Lindsay's back from Butte. Great to have you back. God, there's an awful lot. Gosh. Hello, everybody. There's Tatty Toon. I know, where is Tatty Toon? What is Tatty Toon? Oh, I'm needing to be on a different podcast. This is. I need to be on the Scotland Outdoors podcast to understand all these questions.
But where are you this week? I'm in Tatty
Attitude. Ian Barnes from down to Bolton. Hi, Ian. How you doing? Miles, it's not. I used to go to Bolton from Northwich. It's not far at all, mate. You're just north of bloody Manchester. It took us about an hour and 20 minutes.
That's a long way.
Oh, away you go. Carmyle across the bridge for campus. Really? All right, okay. I hadn't heard of Carmyle before. There's another one. User hello from Hurlford near Kilmarnock. Hello. Gosh, there's quite a lot going on here. And we've got the Scandi one again. I quite like that actually, because you get T-shirts with Scandi written on it. But anyway, welcome everybody. If I've missed you, I'll try and get back to you after we've done the first bit of the show. So, what were you going to say?
I can't find it, mate. I can't find it.
You know, I'll tell you what. We'll play the trailer. You can start wittering, and I'll find it and I'll post it. All right?
Yes.
Deal.
Let's do that. Who played this week? Who
played
did they
this
play?
week, mate? Who did? Look at the size of this, folks. Look at that. Unbelievable. Right. Let's sit back and see how he copes with this. Come on, then.
Lots of people played. That was it.
Right. Okay. Thanks very much for your input, Andy. That was really good.
Yeah. Well, there was it 60, 62, 61 now? 61 people played, bands, gigs, bands, artists. Starting number one this week, Coral, they're always playing. They always played. They were there weekly. Coral Orchestral Union of Glasgow, 1945. Great gig, that one. I don't know anyone who was there, but 76 years ago. Anyway, Family played on Friday, November 13th, 1970. I listened to Family. Quite like it. It was all right. Emerson, Lake and Palmer played on Friday, November the 17th, 1972. Didn't listen to Emerson, Lake and Palmer. I should have, but I'm pretty sure it would have been. I think I read some stuff about, I think Dr. Derek put on some, Professor Derek, he's now
promoted.
He's upgraded his qualification. Professor Derek, he put up a post and I think some folk answered it, said the equipment broke down or something. And they had big equipment, big breakdowns, or big organs, big breakdowns, something like that. Barclay James Harvest and sorry, sir.
I've heard about that.
Yeah. Barclay James Harvest, supported by Camel, played on Sunday, November the 19th, 1972. I listened to Camel and I listened to Barclay James Harvest, and that was a match made in heaven, I think. Because I must have been listening to Barclay James Harvest in the 80s. They were a bit airy-fairy in the 80s, a bit acoustic guitar.
A bit.
You know, but this was sort of almost, well, it was prog, I think. And Camel was definitely prog. And yeah, I quite liked it. I'm sorry to say.
Going to progify you one of these days, mate. I'm going to progify you.
The Groundhogs played November the 13th, 1973, supported by Jonesy. I listened to some Groundhogs. Quite like that too, actually.
Yeah, but I only ever saw them. I only ever saw them once, and it was at the venue in Edinburgh, and I think I went downstairs and had a game of pool. It didn't quite work for me. I don't know what it was. It was discordant. It was like discordant blues. I couldn't quite. I love the blues, but I just couldn't get my head round the Groundhog. But they've been supportive of the website and they've contributed a fair old bit, so it's great. But I don't know. I just wasn't sure about them.
I read that on someone posted. Sorry, Facebook poster that gig. It was just the guy. Is it Tony McPhee, the guitarist?
Tony's his name. I can't remember his second name, but yeah.
He was. He didn't play his guitar as much as the person hoped. He was just banging about on a mellotron or something.
Oh, right, okay.
Weird thing, and he wished he'd played more guitar because that's what he came for. He's a guitarist. Cliff Richard played Wednesday, November the 14th, 1973, 48 years ago. This was the one I listened to this concert. Not
right.
this concert.
That
Not
tour.
this concert, but concert. Yeah, I think it was in Japan. Whatever you say about Cliff being Cliff, he is a fantastic entertainer. He is. He's good. And that shot, it was good, mate. I enjoyed it. Some of it was a bit bleh, but he was quite a good singer. He's good. If he'd gone into rock singing, he'd have been all right, actually.
Yeah,
He
probably.
would.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
And bonus that Olivia Newton-John was singing back up with him in Japan.
Oh, that's a different
Yeah.
thing then. Yeah, that'd have been good.
I could hear her in the background before I even knew it was her. I
Really?
was like, like Olivia Newton-John. Oh, it is Olivia Newton-John. I started using. My mates gave me access to an app called Rune, Roon. It's like
Right.
a Spotify thing, but you can hook up different services to it. This is not an advert, but it gives you. We are not sponsored by these people, but it gives you a bit more breakdown of the like on Spotify, you get a little blurb about the artist. This actually goes into the album and gives you a review of the album and a review of the band, actually. So it was quite helpful this week. Anyway, so that was good. Steel Eye Span played Thursday, November the 15th, 1973. I listened to Steel Eye Span this week. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Great. Some of it was fingers in the ear folk, but a lot of it wasn't. A lot of it was quite a wee bit, sort of a bit guitar-y, rocky-ish. So that was Thursday, November the 15th, 1973. I could see how they'd be popular at the time.
Yeah, good band.
Uriah Heep, supported by the Heavy Metal Kids, played Friday, November the 16th, 1973. I listened to Uriah Heep and the Heavy Metal Kids, 2 live albums from them. I enjoyed them immensely. Uriah Heep, they were good. What did I write down? I liked Stealing, Easy Living, and they do this rock and roll melody, when I was listening to it, I was going, oh yeah, Cliff Richard did this in his live album. Sorry. The Heavy Metal Kids were good too. I enjoyed them too. It was great. I enjoyed them. Now this gig here, Miles Davis, November the 18th, 1973. I saw that. I listened to the album that they would have been touring for this album.
Yeah.
Whoa, it was difficult.
Yeah,
for the untrained ear of a rock fan from Glasgow, it was quite difficult to listen to. Musically, it probably was amazing. There's probably if you were a jazz fan, you'd be going, oh yeah, you can see what's happening here. This, all these modes and harmonic minors and whatever.
Yeah.
All together. Rick Beato would be going, oh yeah, that's brilliant.
Yes.
For me, it was just a bit. It was too. Maybe it was a bit too solo for solo and say.
Yeah.
But I saw that Eric, one of our esteemed members, Eric Wishart, he put on that he went to the show and he said there was about 50 people there. And
I read that.
Just stood on stage and turned his back to everyone and just played for an hour and then walked off. Well, it's probably the wrong venue for him for a start.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of these legendary Apollo shows, despite the fact there was hardly anybody there. I would like. I mean, I couldn't have been old enough, but I'd love to have been at that just to see what he was like, because certainly some of his music is much more accessible than that album that you were talking about. I mean, it's really
yeah.
but
album, I forgot the name of it. Sorry, but just look up Miles Davis 1973 album. It was
kind of Blues. One of the. I mean, that's a really lovely album. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah.
You do know that album. It's a great album. No, God, no.
This wasn't Kind of Blue.
Hudson
Ford played Monday, November the 19th, 1973. wow, the night after Miles Davis. I don't know if who went to the show, but I looked up Hudson Ford. They were two guys, a Mr. Hudson and a Mr. Ford, and they were from the Strawbs. The album was I listened to the album from this tour. I loved it. It was great. Very Beatlesque. It ranged lots of different styles. It was a good album. It reminded me of I've forgotten what they were called. Sorry, everyone. Anyway, if you fancy having a wee sort of 1973 listen to Hudson Ford, go for it. It was not bad. It wasn't hard rock, heavy metal, but
No.
it was nice. It was nice. Beatley, bit of Beatles, bit of folk, bit of glam rock on it. It was good.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, very good. David Essex, supported by Merlin, played Wednesday, November the 13th, 1974. Sorry, Dave, I didn't listen to any of your stuff this week. But
No, it's difficult.
I do quite like. I don't mind the David Essex. Some of it's a bit. Don't mention my fan way.
I'm not going to say it again. I've said it so many times.
Yeah. You know. I know where you're going with that. But yeah, I'm pretty sure the population who like to go and see him went to see him and thought it was great.
Of course.
Because he was, good looking boy, good looking guy, heartthrob, twinkly eye, all that stuff. Golden Earring, Leonard Skinner played Thursday, November the 14th, 1974. Okay. I listened to Golden Earring. I listened to Leonard Skinner live albums. Leonard Skinner, for me, just personally for me, I enjoyed them more than the Golden Earring. But I think the Golden Earring one I listened to was a sort of concept album for that tour. I'm not. I could be wrong here. And it had a sort of storyline going through it. Maybe was it Moontan?
Oh, I don't know.
Moontan, maybe.
Saw them once, and they're technically brilliant.
Oh, no, I like them. I do like them. Radar Love, brilliant song.
Good song. Yeah.
Great song. But for me, I would have preferred Skinner. But
yeah, me too.
If I was at that gig, I would have been going to see Golden Earrings. Yeah. But everyone who commented on the post that Derek put up were raving about it. I don't think there was one person saying it was rubbish. Or saying it wasn't very good. Ralph McTell, supported by Jack the Lad. Thing here. Ralph McTell, supported by Jack the Lad, played on Friday, November the 13th, 1974. Ralph McTell, he's good, isn't he? He's a folky sort of guy.
Well, he was the third person that contacted us when we set up the website 18 years ago, and then he actually called and said, "Look, I'll do an interview with you just to give you a little bit of a boost."
Brilliant.
So if you go into our www.glasgowapollo.com and go to the interview section, I think it's at the bottom of the first page. There's an interview with Ralph, and it's he's really funny. He was a nice guy, and he actually helped us quite a lot with sort of promotion early. I don't know if you remember, Andy, but he was really good. I mean, he really was good.
Yeah, I remember.
And he tells a story about when the Apollo was getting pulled down, and he said he went to see it, and he said he saw folk stealing radiators and signs and stuff. And he finished the interview with this line. He said, "Anyone out there got an Apollo radiator?" That was quite funny. Yeah, Ralph's a dude, good guy, really good guy. Obviously, a great position.
Yeah. So sorry, Ralph, I didn't listen to any of your stuff, or Jack the Lad. Humble Pie played November the 17th, 1974, supported by McGuinness Flint. Were they a Scottish band?
McGuinness Flint?
I don't know. I seem to remember. Sorry, guys, I didn't listen to them. I had heaps of stuff to listen to. 62 bands. I like Humble Pie anyway, so...
fantastic.
If I'd gone to that gig, I would have been happy. I would have been ecstatic because I really like Humble Pie. Tom Paxton played November the 16th, 1975. I listened to Tom Paxton, a live album of his. Great, good musician, good songwriter, a wee bit sort of John Denver-ish
Yeah.
storyteller. The one I listened to, because he wrote a nice wee. He'd written a song for his daughter, and then he had to write another song for his other daughter because he'd set the precedence. It's quite nice. It was a very nice album. If you like quiet guitar storytelling music, go for that. Blue Jays played on November the 1975, November the 17th, 1975. Sorry, Blue Jays, I didn't listen to you, but
I tried to look them up actually, and there's quite a lot of bands called the Blue Jays.
okay.
And
Are they?
I'm assuming it was sort of rock and rolly type outfit,
Yeah.
but it might not have been.
Okay.
There's a few, as I say. I found about 5 different bands, and I didn't have time to research
Right.
that year. But yeah, there's a few bands called the Blue Jays,
Yeah.
and a
Oh.
Canadian baseball team.
Yeah. Well, I think I've heard of them. The Moody Blues, supported by A.J. Weber, on Monday, November the 17th, 1975. I didn't listen to the Moody Blues, although I do like them. And A.J. Weber, pretty sure he was in another band. Probably was in another band, but I think a more famous band. Sorry guys, I didn't listen to that. The Carpenters played November the 18th, 1975. Now, I did listen to the album from this tour. It was called Now and Then, and it was a sort of concept album.
Yeah.
Concept album. And it had, sing a song. Sing.
Yeah.
The song's called Sing, but it's called Sing the Song. And Yesterday Once More are two of the songs that are on it that are theirs, and then the rest of it, or the majority of it, or actually one side of it, is like a radio show, and
Is it?
they're doing and they're doing sort of rock and roll hits that they liked. So it's like,
Right.
I don't know. They probably could have done. I don't know.
I
They're probably even better doing their own songs, but like
well, yeah, I think they were.
doing voice songs, and she's forgive me, but she's better than that. She's a better singer than
I mean, they had their
that.
trials and tribulations. I've got a colleague who has written 10 books about the Carpenters. 10. He's utterly obsessed, and there is a very large group of folk obsessed with the
Yeah.
Carpenters, and
Yeah.
mainly Karen. But I think we need
She's a
to
good
investigate them a wee bit more, because she's a good drummer, great singer, great songwriter. But they
Yeah.
went into that weird world of, if you watch the TV shows and the films, hellish what happened, particularly to
Yeah.
her, but to the
Yeah.
whole idea of the Carpenters was weird. She was a blinking good drummer, mate.
But yeah.
Yeah, she could really drum, and
Yeah.
one of the few drummer singers, there's only a handful, but yeah, I thought they were quite a good band. Anyway,
Oh no, they were a good band. But yeah, sad ending for her.
oh, terrible.
Everyone, really, for everyone, for fans and everyone. All Platinum Show played November the 19th, 1975. I don't know what that was.
Is that? Is that a boxing thing, maybe?
I couldn't. It's probably a showcase for something. Some other bands. I don't know what it was, but I couldn't find any info on it. Santana played November 13th, 1976. So I think I'd listened to Santana the week before, so I didn't give them he didn't get a jumper this week. Guernsey? Strip? I don't know. Van de Graaff Generator played Sunday, November the 14th. Oh, actually, this Santana show, I remember I had a little discussion with Professor McAdam, Derek McAdam. I think Journey were supporting them on that tour, but
Right.
he found out that, I don't know if anyone who was there can say that, can tell us that Journey were there, because he found stuff on the interwebs about Journey playing in America on those days on that tour. So I don't know, bit weird, but Neil Sean used to be in Santana, so maybe there was a connection there. That's
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Van de Graaff Generator played Sunday, November the 14th, 1976. I listened to Van de Graaff Generator. Whoa! All right.
Yeah.
Prog rock.
Definitely.
I wasn't sure, but
Yeah.
I wasn't good musicians and everything, but I wasn't entirely sure of the guys. I mean, just for me, I didn't really like the guy's singing voice. I mean, that's a lot for me to say, mate. You know,
That's a lot for you to say. Yeah.
it didn't quite go with the music. That's what I'm trying to say. It probably would have been good in another type of music, but they were fine. They were good. I mean, they were obviously successful at some point in the 70s. But yeah, and I think they all went on to do other bigger and better stuff. I think.
They were very, very much admired in the prog community. You know, and they've had a bit of a revival of late with some of the.
Well, I mean, the album opens up with like an 8-minute song.
Yeah.
You know, I thought, is this song going to finish, man? It's really long. And then 2 songs later, there's a 20-minute song.
Aye, that's right.
So I was like, whoa. Oh, that was the song. The album's called World Record. World Record. That's the one I've listened to. I was like, wow, that's a long song. More Steel Eye Span. I listened to some Steel Eye Span again. Like I said, I like them. I quite like them. Really. Martin Simpson. I think I gave Martin Simpson a little listen to. He was all right. Kiki D. Oh, sorry, I'm not even saying the date. November the 15th, 1976. That was Steel Eye Span and Martin Simpson. Kiki D, supported by Blue, played on Wednesday, November the 17th, 1976. Now, I think
Blue,
the Scottish band. Blue.
Scottish band.
Yeah. I think is one of our esteemed viewers was in Blue, was he?
I think they were, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe not. I think. What am I talking about? I don't know what I'm talking about. Kiki D. I quite like her anyway. She's a great singer. Good singer. Mud, supported by Red Hot. November the 18th, 1976. I've listened to as much Mud as I really need to in my time. If you like Mud, great. That's good. Rock and roll type stuff. It was rock and roll, wasn't it? It
was, but it was like theatrical sort of rock and roll. They used to do all sorts of nonsense on stage. They used to do congas and jump a bit together and choreographed stuff. I mean, I actually met them at one point, and they were, the thing we did for kids with a few years ago, and they were there. And they were some of the nicest guys there. They were really nice guys. They were great musicians when they got onto the stage. Really good.
That was Tiger Feet, wasn't it?
Aye.
Yeah. I remember that from Top of the Pops. But I'm pretty sure that would have been a good gig if you're a Mud fan. Brilliant. And Red Hot probably be in a similar vein.
Yeah.
Wishbone Ash, supported by Supercharged, played November the 19th, 1976. I listened to Wishbone Ash as well.
Watch what you say, Chris is on.
Well, they're all right. They're all right.
Oh dear.
I mean, I'm not going out of my way to listen to them, but they're fine. I mean, I'd probably need to listen to more than one album once.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. But Andy Powell, one of the key members, he again was one of the people who really supported us when we started. He was brilliant, did an interview and all sorts. So yeah, I think Argus is great. I'm not so keen on any of the other albums really, but but nevertheless, he was brilliant to us.
Yeah. I should listen to Argus again. I keep saying.
Yeah, it's a good album. That.
I'll write that down. This is riveting viewing. I'm writing down stuff.
So by the year 2030, you'll get through your. What?
How did they get their name, Wishbone Ash?
No idea. Ask Chris. Chris, how did they get their name? He'll tell us. Watch, it'll come into the chats in a minute. Proceed.
Proceed.
Yes, proceed.
Carry on, sir. Thin Lizzy, supported by the Radiators from Space. That was.
Never heard of them. The Radiators were quite good.
The Radiators from Space. November 13th, 1977. Wish, mate. Thin Lizzy, you know I like them. I know you like them. They're a great band. For me, they're a great band. Harry Chester's one and all, I'd say,
Yeah.
with a little bit of
Bloody tastic.
Irish storyteller mixed up there.
Yeah. And Guinness rather than aftershave.
Yeah, just poured liberally over your head.
Yeah.
Cliff Richard once again, but I
Now,
mean,
you've said that wrong.
what?
It's Cliff Richards.
Oh, is it? Okay, sorry.
Aye. My mum's been saying Cliff Richards for 40 years. And I thought his name was Cliff Richards.
Right, okay. Cliff Richards.
He's got the COVID.
He headlines on Saturdays, November's the 19th, 1976.
You're going too far now. Come on, gag that.
All right, okay. That's plenty. That's plenty.
Yep.
You think we're having a good time? What about the people watching? Poor buggers. Hawkwind. They play. Aye, I listen to Hawkwind as well. Woof! Holy moly! They were bonkers. Played on November the 15th, 1978. What a mad band they are. What was the song? There was one song.
Silver Machine.
No, on this album I listened to, it was called
Hash
Cake Cut or Red Hash Cut or something. I don't know. I didn't know what it was about. Didn't know the reference. Couldn't get it. It's not me. No, I'm joking. I knew what it was about. But yeah, same mad psychedelic rock.
All right, okay.
Yeah. Hawkwind.
Yeah. I don't know the album, and I've seen them 3 or 4 times, but I keep wanting to like them. You know, they're one of those bands. I don't know if you've got bands like that. You know, sometimes you think, I'm going to get into this band. And I've seen them 3 or 4 times, and every time I've come out and I've gone, no, I think I like them. But I saw them. The first festival I ever went to was the Stonehenge Festival. And guess who was headlining? Yeah, I went with Graham Potter. I remember Graham, and went with him. And oh man, it was like landing on Mars. You know, it was like.
Was it Spinal Tap headlining?
No, it was Hawkwind that were headlining. I get what you're saying, but it was like table. Oh, I better not say anything. But it was not for a wee boy for Carluke. It was like, what's going on here? You know, and I do remember some of it. I remember sleeping in I think it was a white van or something that night. It was weird. Anyway, I better not say anything else. I don't know what I was doing. I've no idea. I certainly don't remember.
Oh well, okay. You should have checked yourself the next day.
It's space rock. Yeah, it's space rock, isn't it?
Yeah, space rock. Yeah,
probably the best place for a lot of their albums is outer space. You know, get them.
Yeah. If you've got a phaser, I mean, I don't mean a Star Trek phaser. I mean a phaser for your effects unit.
Or a taser.
Put on anything on Hawkwind, and that's it. Yeah, bass, singing, drums, phaser. That's it. I mean, they're good. They do a lot of building up, slowing down, building up.
Yeah,
waiting for the drop and all that stuff.
Okay.
Lindisfarne. I listened to Lindisfarne again. I didn't think they were that rocky, but they are quite rocky.
Good band.
That was on November the 16th, 1978. I enjoyed Lindisfarne album. I quite liked it. Esther Phillips. She played on November the 17th, 1978. Do you know about Esther Phillips?
I think I do.
All right.
It's somewhere in.
I think she was a disco. She had the sort of fame for being she had a big hit, which I've just totally forgotten. And she had a delicate kind of voice to her singing, but I think she went to.
Aye.
Yeah, she's quite good. Delicate voice. She could do. When I heard her, I didn't know that she did a Billie Holiday. I saw her doing some Billie Holiday songs, but when I heard her at first, I went, "Oh, she kind of sounds like Billie Holiday." And then I saw her doing a sort of Billie Holiday tribute, which was perfect for her voice. Perfect for her.
It did work.
Um,
No, I'm getting her now, but it did work. But yeah, no, it didn't. She didn't immediately. When I heard her voice the first time, I think you and I spoke about her once before. Maybe not on the show. Just you and I chatting one night, and I went and investigated her, and she's kind of. Somebody said, "Is Esther Phillips a type of screwdriver?" Who said that? Facebook.
really.
I think that's quite funny.
Mm.
I know I shouldn't laugh. Sorry.
Yeah. No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't do that. Gordon
Oh, it was
Gilchrist.
James that said it. I might have known it was James. Mr. McPeaty.
How come I'm missing? I didn't see all these bands. Gordon Giltrap, Sunday, November the 18th, 1978. I didn't. I listened to Gordon Giltrap. Yeah, he's a guitar singer, guitar player,
Yeah.
guitar singer. He's very good.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, guitarist.
Magic
ABBA.
guitar.
Yeah. ABBA played on November the 13th, 1979. I don't know who's ABBA. What are they about? I'm surprised they only did one gig that week. Wow, they must have been doing a massive tour of the UK then.
She called him home that night though from Glasgow.
Jesus Christ. He called her from Glasgow.
I know.
Yeah.
It's kind of. I think we've already briefly mentioned how great the new album is. But back then they did look pretty cool.
Yeah.
It was quite a good laugh. I bet it was a good laugh. That's the Apollo stage with ABBA on it. Mental.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hot Wind again, supported by Doll. Played November the 18th, 1979. Sorry guys, didn't listen to Doll. I was too busy listening to Hot Wind. Motorhead, supported by Saxon. Oh, that's a heavy metal, Hairy Chester's bonanza there. That's even if you had ear protectors on,
No chance.
you'd be deaf. Yeah, November the 19th, 1979. That on a Monday night. Imagine. I mean,
School the next day.
if you were a schoolboy or a
What?
schoolgirl or a school child.
What?
Sorry, sir. Sorry. Okay, there's some ringing in my ear. I don't know what it is. Yeah. That's 2 days worth of ringing in your ear, maybe 3. I think I saw someone say, "Oh, I was at that gig," and I'm typing this now with tinnitus. Tinnitus, yes.
Tinnitus.
Yeah. Tinnitus as it's ringing in my ears.
Yeah.
Battle of the Bands. Oh, some guy, one of our contributors said, "Oh, he played at that."
All right. Cool.
Yeah. But I asked him if he won. I don't know if he got back to me. Don't know. That'd be a unicorn pleasure center type thing. I guess. Battle of the Bands. Or was that a world? Was that like a UK wide thing, and they'd go around the whole country doing that?
Sometimes they are, sometimes local, aren't they? I mean, I remember Radio Clyde and Radio 4 used to have a load of those, didn't they?
Yeah. Well, there was one last week. I think when Gil, the week that was, the Gillen gig. I think part of that was a Battle of the Bands as well.
Was it?
It's on the ticket.
Yeah.
It says
Right, okay.
Battle of the Bands or something. And that was the support act for a Battle of the Bands was a band called The Thing. Why weren't they in the Battle of the Bands? Oh, that's weird.
Maybe it was a single performer. It was The Thing.
All right, maybe.
He's not a band.
Just comes on and goes.
Oh.
Yeah. Chris de Burgh.
Moving on.
Much maligned in these parts.
Yep.
November the 19th, 1980. Yeah, man. He'd be banging out the old "A Spaceman Came Traveller" then, near Christmas. Or didn't people do Christmas stuff till actual Christmas time then? Instead of now.
Boots has just said when status quo on. Now that's not like Boots. He must really like Chris de Burgh. Now come on.
Yeah. Rick Wakeman played Saturday, November the 14th, 1981. Now, listen to this. He was doing an album called 1984, which is not about the year 1984, but it was about the book 1984. Sort of concept album. Strangely enough, for a member of a prog rock band. And it was good. I enjoyed that album. Shaka Khan was on it, and John Anderson are on it, and there's many other luminaries. I think the guy from Chess, the guy who sings in Chess, Murray Head.
Yeah,
I
know
think.
the guy.
Could be wrong. Could be wrong. Murray Head. I think he's on it too. No, it's a good album. It's all right. Noodly, rocky. It's good. Judas Priest and Accept. They played. That this was you last week.
Yeah, my first
Your
gig.
memory. Your first gig, November the 15th, 1981. Point of Entry was that album, wasn't it?
Oh, I don't remember now, Andy.
I think it was.
Yeah.
That was. I listened to that as well. It was not bad. Not bad. Except they were not bad either.
Balls to the wall.
Yeah, Balls to the Wall. First time I heard that, I heard that title and I went, that doesn't sound good. I mean, how are they on the wall? Is it a nail or what?
I like it. Right.
That was my first thought when I was a kid. I was like, Balls to the Wall? How's that happening? Anyway, moving on swiftly. Billy Joe Spears show. I didn't listen to Billy Joe Spears, but I'm guessing Billy Joe Spears is a country fellow.
Yeah, it's a woman. It's a woman.
Okay, country person, Billy Joe Spears. Oh, I did.
Remember the Blanket on the Ground song?
Was that her?
That was her. You're blanking. I can't sing it. Shut up, Scott. It'd be her. Yeah, that was her.
Good.
Not really, no. Pretty bad.
No. I mean, good that you're not singing.
No.
Your mic is clipping or something.
Is it?
Yeah, or something. You're banging something. I don't know what you're doing. Shalimar, they were a funk band?
Yeah, funk pop sort of thing.
Yeah.
Poppy.
They played on November the 13th, 1982. That was
shiny clothes, that sort of band.
Yeah. Good. A good wholesome rocking band. No, they're not.
No.
They Shalimar. I think, were they British?
Shalimar, I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I don't think so. Were they not from New York or so? I can't remember.
Sorry, chat. Didn't do any research. Okay. All right. Someone saying, I think that was Peter Carey is replying to the Motorhead Saxon gig, or maybe or Judas Priest or Accept. I'm not sure. He doesn't say. He says he was 14. Tell you what, Whitesnake was the loudest band I saw at the Apollo. Oh, all right. Wow. Susie and the Banshees, supported by Zera One, played November the 15th, 1982.
That's
I had this scheduled to. I had this lined up to listen to.
The rescued recording is almost unlistenable. It's so out of tune. They're all out of tune, and she's discordant. And I think they maybe had been on the Schwally, because it's not good. And I quite like some of her stuff, but it's not a good recording. I mean, it is a good quality recording, but it's very discordant.
Okay.
Crap, in other words.
Is that available from where?
It is available from our friends over at Risk Recordings. We've got big thanks as always to Jack, Stephen, and Phil for this, because this is how we listen to these pieces of music and these recordings. So if you are not a member of that Facebook group, get over there, type it in, Rescued Recordings from the Glasgow Apollo. Absolutely brilliant. 300 recordings now, mate. 300. Incredible.
Yeah, that's good. That's amazing. I mean, it was, that is really good. Although there should be more. I mean, there'd be some lineup on some people's attics.
Oh, did you see the one that turned up? Sorry to go off piece. Did you see the one that turned up this week?
No. What was it?
Bad Company.
Oh,
Some
I don't get my. I had something wrong with my settings are wrong. I don't get my announcements from chat.
well, I mean, it's a bit. I mean, it's not quite as dramatic as the Led Zeppelin one last year, but getting a
Right,
Bad Company recording from the Apollo is going to be great. I'm really looking forward to hearing that.
right. Yeah. Well, so am I now.
Yeah.
The 3 Degrees played November the 19th, 1982. 3 Degrees.
Hmm.
They were a disco band, right? No,
Yeah, more
soul band.
disco.
Soul.
So, well, kind of Motowny,
So the 3
soul-y.
Degrees. No,
Yeah.
I'm getting mixed up. Anyway, sorry if you went to that. I'm pretty sure you'd enjoy it. Public Image Limited, supported by First Priority Lists, played on November the 16th, 1983. I started listening to a live album from Public Images. It was recorded on that same tour, I think, in Japan,
All right. Okay.
or just earlier in the year. It's an acquired taste, I think.
Yeah.
If
I
you
mean,
like it, you like it. If you like it,
yeah.
you like it. You know.
I think they're kind of. I agree. And I mean, he's a bit. I enjoyed his autobiography very much.
Yeah.
I thought it was really interesting. I'm not sure he was telling the truth all the time, but he's a decent guy, I think. And then there's an album, What the World Needs Now, which is probably
Uh-huh.
6 or 7 years ago now. That's a good album, that, and I mean, there was a lot of controversy in Glasgow just last week, wasn't there? Because he gave some abuse to somebody. Apparently, well, the stories are varied now; they're all over the place. But
Yeah,
they didn't play the gigs, so let a few folk
yeah,
down. Um,
yeah.
but
Oh,
I sometimes think he's a bit of a caricature of himself, but I still
yeah.
like his
Well,
autobiography. I still like it, and I mean, when I saw the Pistols, I was in the noughties. It was the proper Pistols, but they were old men. He was
yeah,
great. He was really good. But I don't know. He's cute as egg, that boy.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, probably when you're doing a massive tour with the Sex Pistols and you're getting paid a lot of money, you're not going
Yeah,
to mess it up.
you're chilled, aren't you?
You're not going to mess it up
No.
because it'll be like if you mess it up, you don't get paid. So you know you'll do it properly. Ozzy Osbourne and Heavy Petting played November the 19th,
I
1983.
understand your meaning.
Now I posted that on, and the first person who replied was Gary Moat, the drummer
Yeah,
from Heavy Petting,
cool.
and he said he was. Did you see that? No, he said he was. He was a bit nervous that night. I think he was feeling a bit under the weather in the digestive department. Um, but he said, I remember it was a good gig.
I
Good
enjoyed them. I
show.
thought they were great that
Yeah,
night.
it was
Yeah.
great. Yeah, yeah. I think he was a bit nervous.
Well, wouldn't you be?
Well, I looked at the thing. They just played less than a month before supporting Kiss. So yeah, it would have been a good gig.
Aye.
Yeah, yeah. But
It's another one that
and I think they only
the
got.
Eurovision Song
I think they
Contest
only.
killed them.
Sorry, mate.
The same. There's
Say that again.
another one of these bands that did the Eurovision Song Contest and it killed them. Remember that?
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
meow. Yeah, bloody awful.
yeah.
It's terrible. I don't know what they were doing. It was the same with the guy for the Darkness, wasn't it? He jumped out of the Darkness. They were at the peak of their fame, went
Uh-huh.
and did the Eurovision Song Contest, didn't even qualify at the final, and screwed the Darkness up. And it's taken them about 10 years to come back. And it's
Yeah.
mental, mental.
Yeah.
Money,
Aye.
money, money. Yeah,
Yeah. But I think it was a record company that
yeah.
made them do that
I'm sure you're right. I'm sure you're
heavy
right.
pit. I think it was a record company that said,
Yeah.
hey, yeah. And I watched some heavy petting from 2018 in Glasgow. Yeah, it sounded great.
They're
Yeah.
still a good band. They're a good band. I mean, this sounds really naff nowadays, but I remember when they were about, and at the same time, Bon Jovi were just starting,
Yeah.
and I actually thought both of them would go huge, and one of them did, and it wasn't the better one at
Mm.
that point. I mean, I think Bon Jovi did really well, obviously, but I mean, I always thought Heavy Petting had it, but they just didn't quite. And I don't know if it was Hamey's voice or whatever, but it was a shame because some of the songs, the
Yeah.
first album's great. It's a really good
Yeah.
rock album.
Let
Really
Loose.
good.
That's a good
Yeah.
album. Yeah.
It's a good album. Yeah.
Yeah. Or did we just like them because they were a Scottish rock band?
Well, there's a good chance that that's true. Well done, mate. Right, you're through that. Well done.
Yeah.
That's
Sorry
good.
for not getting listening to everything, but I listen to a heap of stuff, mate. My God.
So there's some sarky comments and some interesting comments, and we'll start with the
All right.
sarky ones from Tommy Bond. 3 Degrees. Was that a Masonic gig? Oh dear. Oh dear. Who I'm Ken Dodd this week. That didn't tickle my fancy. And Boots is saying when I was talking about John Lydon, he said, "Prick's the word you're looking for, Scott." Yeah, it probably is. Facebook user saying PIL played for 45 minutes. Gosh. Yeah, and someone else is saying, maybe the same person, that Ozzy was great, but he didn't play for long enough. Do you know, I don't remember him not play. Somebody else said
I
to
don't
me,
remember that.
short,
I don't remember. I don't remember feeling shortchanged.
No, it was a good
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I'm sure you're right, Facebook user. But it's kind of, yeah. There's a couple of other ones. John McCallum said something. I thought that was quite interesting.
He said that the band Supercharge
Aye.
had a song called "She Moved the Dishes First." Singer Albie Donnelly claimed his girl was classy because she moved the dishes before she had a piss in the sink. Wow.
Great.
I'm quoting there. These are not my words.
No, it's on the screen, mate. Don't worry, it's on the screen. It's on the screen.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
Facebook user is pissed off. Who's Facebook user? Oh, it's Derek. Sorry, Derek. I don't know why your name's not coming up in the chats. You can write to Mark Zuckerberg at meta.com. So, yeah, well done. That was good, and thanks for all your comments. I think that's the most comments I've ever had, actually, mate. There's a lot of comments.
All right. Okay.
So sorry if we didn't get to everybody, because it's just it's
Well,
been on
I'm
an
just
hour already.
crazy. I'm looking at the comments, and one's from my dad 38
Yeah.
minutes ago. Sorry,
Yeah.
Dad.
I even mentioned his bloody name, mate. I even said, see, you're so focused that your ears don't work. Anyway, let's do something else. That's not a bad piece of little generics. Music that, I quite like it. What's been happening on the socials? Busy.
Busy. It's all changed now. I don't know who's a member, who's not a member.
It's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy.
So there's been 29 or 30 members joining up now, but we've
Yeah.
got 10,361 members. I couldn't tell you how many active members there were because it's all weird. But I know that 39,000 people viewed the group in the last
39,000.
in the last week.
This is what they said would happen. But I mean, how do you feel? I mean, sorry, I think we should talk about this because everybody that's a member of this group.
All I'm thinking is that's they're showing us now.
Aye.
Because it
Right.
was public before, so they're
Right.
just saying that's how many people.
Yeah. What does it mean though? If I mean, I've had 2 or 3 people have reported people this week. I don't know if you've seen any of them yourself. I banned a couple. Well, not banned, but kicked a couple of people out and banned. And I don't know if it's right. Just letting anybody come in without us. I mean, the whole point of it was a group. Because you and I would reject how many a week? Quite a lot.
10, 20.
Yeah, and I mean, there was a lot of numpties trying to get in, and there was a lot of bots and stuff, and you can spot them. You know, they're in like 300 groups and they've got no followers or whatever, you know. But does that mean that these guys are going to get into the group?
Well, I was going to say that if we changed it to a private group, then
yeah. See, we'll talk about it offline. Maybe talk about the Zoomers. But the thing that worries me about that is, and I'll talk about. I'll let you finish. Sorry, we interrupted. But some of the people who have come in as guests this week have been absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
So just join the bloody group, you know. But I don't know. Anyway, sorry. It just
means it just means you don't have to be a member of a group to post, basically.
Yeah, I know, but we don't then have the control. Well, we can kick it out right enough, can't we? We can still do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. So there was 132 posts, 2,246 comments, and 5,016 reactions. Yeah, and it's weird though. It does say that 1,198 people posted and commented. So I don't know if that's active users. I can't tell. I don't know.
It's impossible to tell now.
I don't know. It's changed slightly. So this is all back end stuff that we see that you guys
Yeah.
don't see.
Yeah. So there's a couple though. I mentioned that there was a couple that I thought were really good. And do you mind?
Yeah.
And
No,
I'll
on
say
you go. On you go.
there was one
That's
guy
it.
in particular who Alexander McDonald. Now, I don't think he's a member. He might be. I might have got it wrong. Doesn't matter. But this guy posted this picture, a Polaroid from Slade in '74, which I
Yeah.
thought was brilliant. And he's saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, it's poor quality. I quite like that picture. It's quite cool." And you can see
Yeah.
definitely see Noddy doing his stuff. And he also posted a couple of pictures from and the
Was
ticket.
that the same one? Was that the
No,
same guy?
this was the next year. The same guy though. Yeah.
All right.
And then the next year, and this is John Henry's ticket. And that ticket isn't on the website, mate. By the way, because I
Okay,
looked,
but there is a Slade ticket.
but not this one, that particular gig. Because if you look closely, it's got Slade split with Thin Lizzy and Susie Quattro on it.
That's on it.
Is it? Oh, I didn't see it. Maybe I missed it. Sorry if I did. But I quite like that because it's got like.
Spelled incorrectly both occasions.
Is it? Oh, right, okay.
Thin Lizzy.
Oh, so it
and
is.
Susie.
But I like these. He's brilliant. So thanks very much, Alexander. These are absolutely brilliant and a great addition
Yeah.
to the group.
So that was it. I think he explained it. That was Noddy Holder wearing a very 1970s Czech
Aye.
jacket. But he was coming up the road on a horse-drawn hearse.
Aye.
Yeah, bit weird.
Quite. And I think if you look at that picture there, it looks like that could be that tartan jacket. So he probably wore it for a couple of years. It was probably his in jacket. Yeah. It's a bit like one of these horrendous Victorian tartans.
That's a brilliant tartan. That could be on the Ur Willie album or something. Annual. Sorry, or the Bruins annual.
And then, the other one that popped up, and I thought this was magic. I don't know if you saw it, but this is great. Tony Brannan.
Yes, I did see this. Yes.
Isn't that brilliant? Hello, police, quick! Somebody's knocking down the Apollo. And he took that.
That is a brilliant picture.
It's really, really good. Sad, but really good and really funny. So Tony, if you're out there, thank you very much. That was a cracker, an absolute cracker. I'd never.
It's sad that you can see the pavilion straight through the Apollo.
You can't.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Tony's got some writing capability there. Very good. So yeah, very good.
Someone saying that the hearse was a link to the film Slade and Flame.
The whole thing was about Slade and Flame. It was
Well, I need to watch it on Facebook, on YouTube.
It's a terrific film. One of the best music films ever. Honestly, really good. Will really surprise you. So let me see. I don't think there was anything else I wanted to show at this point, but it was a great weekend. I really liked it on the socials this week. So just before we move on, here's Peter saying what you were saying is right in the beginning at the Apollo. There was nothing between Saxon and Iron Maiden, and look what happened. Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. It was kind of weird how some of these bands took off and others didn't. And I think some of it was luck, to be honest. But, I mean, I think Iron Maiden have gone on to do some great albums. Saxon haven't, but back in that time they were fantastic.
The last Saxon album was pretty good.
Yeah, and the solo thing he did was quite. I went to see him doing a talk, and he was excellent. Biff, he's a great guy, but he's not quite. No, I think Iron Maiden probably ended up truly being the better band. But anyway, so I think we should move on because it's nearly midnight, and no, a couple of things just need to quickly go over. So I'll do this. that didn't play at all at my end. Did that play at your end?
Yeah, we got it.
Right, okay. So this is where we ask you to send in your Apollo memories on video. Now, we've not had any this week, and but just to remind you, on the 17th and 18th, and possibly the 19th of December, I'm going to be in Glasgow, armed with my Sony camera, and I'm going to be chasing you around the streets if I see an Apollo t-shirt, because we really want these memories. So thanks for everybody who's sent them in already. Really appreciate them, but we really like to see some more. And likewise, there's been a lot of talk about this, and a couple of guys have had really good ideas, but there's another thing we're trying to encourage people to get involved with. I'm watching
I love that tune.
excuse me, so you can just see them, can't you, with their suits on, all bobbing
Yeah.
along like that. John Henry, you just made the comment there about Slade and the Hearse, has had some great ideas about things we could do at the night out on the 17th. John and others, I think we'll probably not do them for this because we don't have enough lot of room. But next year, we really are thinking of doing a much bigger thing with live music, etc. So I think a lot of these ideas are great, and we will look at them and look at bringing them back in 2022. However, we're still very interested in any artifacts you have from the Apollo, pictures that you got from the Apollo. So, folks, keep them coming in because they're absolutely fantastic. And I've got a couple more that I'm not going to do this week because we're over time, but I've got a couple more I'll show next week. But nevertheless, we're really going to see stuff. And we've already started debates about carpets and curtains and now radiators. So, we're quite keen for folk to get
Yeah.
involved and send us their stuff. So, I'll just check the chat and then we'll have some music, will we? Now,
Certainly.
this is going to be different. So there's nothing. No, we're okay. Two pieces of music for you this week. Now they couldn't be more different. I would argue they're both by virtuoso bands. Well, one of them certainly is, and the other one's pretty close. We got from the Rescued Recordings team this week. There was a fantastic recording of the sort of classical rock band Sky came in, and I'm going to play a Sky song now. We kind of think we know what it's called, the song, thanks to one of the other members, Ian. But I remember being quite a fan of this lot, mainly because James playing guitar on it. But the quality of this recording and the difference in the audience is, it won't surprise you folks. It's quiet. There is a round of applause, etc. But given the type of audience there was, but it's not a long track and it's quite a gentle track, so it's probably not going to be everybody's cup of tea. But nevertheless, just listen to the quality of this recording, and it made me think, what else could they have done on that stage and recorded? Because this is first class. That went down well, didn't it?
Sorry.
Excellent. Listen to this stuff.
We, Derek did a belter there. Time for bed, said Zebedee.
But I remember seeing John Williams. I mean, the famous ones were really Herbie Flowers and John Williams, and Herbie Flowers was the bass player. And I remember seeing John Williams playing at the King's Theatre in Edinburgh with a young lad called Paul Galbraith as support. Have you ever heard of him, Paul Galbraith?
Oh, no.
And he came on, right, and he had this must have been in the late 80s, and he came on early 90s with an Iron Maiden t-shirt on and a big cushion, massive, like one of these great big Arabian cushions. He plunked the cushion in the middle of the stage, crossed his legs, had his guitar up like this. He played it like that. You know what? Some of them play them really upright, almost like a sitar type thing. And he proceeded to play classical versions of Iron Maiden songs, and he was absolutely brilliant. And he won the Young Musician of the Year and went on to have a great career in classical music. So it's just a story related to John Williams. I agree. Pretty. Somebody said lift music or music for nursing homes. I promise to blow the cobwebs out your brains in a minute, but it was we cater for all types of music, and I'm sure there are people who are not commenting who really enjoyed that music. What do you think so, Andy?
Pretty sure there are, yes.
Yeah,
of course
yeah,
there are.
yeah. Could have been a lot worse. Could have been the king of rock. Could have been singing or something over the top of it. You know, we could have had that. Egypt. You know, we want quo.
When does the massage start? Now, Boots, come on.
Come on. Right. So just before we finish, there's one guy who passed away. Sorry. Don't worry. I will recover the situation for those of you that don't appreciate that type of classical music.
Wait, was that from the radio?
It was a Radio Clyde recording, yeah.
It
was crystal clear, wasn't it? It was a very good recording. Before we finish, though, and a slightly different piece of music, I just wanted to talk about this guy, Mick Wall, who died this week because Mick Wall. God, what am I doing? Who died this week because he was an absolute star of a photographer, and as it says there, he was referred to sometimes in the media as the man who shot the 70s, but that doesn't begin to cover his career. And weirdly, do you know how it ran, Andy? His first album cover that he ever was commissioned to do that became famous was by Syd Barrett.
Oh, yeah.
And the last one that he did was by Miley Cyrus.
Oh.
Isn't that amazing? You know, and in between that, he did Rory Gallagher, Lou Reed, the Stooges, Cat Stevens, David Bowie, Queen, Cotton Rebel. I'm reading this, by the way. I've not got that good a memory. He did all these bands, you know. And then more recently, bands that I hadn't heard of, like Black Lips, Atlas Sound, Third Eye Blind. No idea who that is at all. But he did Joan Jett album. He did Steve Harley, and he did the Ramones as well. So this is a guy who. That was just his album covers, but you see from this picture, he was also a big Bowie guy, and he was Bowie's official photographer. So, really sorry to hear about Mr. Rock passing. He was a great guy, apparently, and a bit of a character, force in nature. So, and Ian, one of the regulars, one of the Zoomers, said that he particularly liked this book Glam that he did about Bowie. So, I'd like to read that. It's a sad, big loss, and I'm really sorry to hear that. Condolences to his family. Yeah, but and maybe one of these weeks we should put some of his album covers up, because I knew he'd done a lot of album covers. I probably didn't know the extent of it, Andy. You know, there's so many of them. As somebody's saying, that's probably Derek Mick Rock took some of the most iconic album covers, absolutely. And someone else been kind to Miley. Miley Cyrus is a bucking virus. Other stuff.
That's James McAveety.
Is that who that is? Yeah. I thought she's done some quite good. She really varies her style these days. So anyway, that's not about Miley. Well, I wouldn't mind seeing her at Apollo though. So yeah, all the best, Mick Rock. Thanks very much for all the amazing photographs that you took. We really appreciate that. It's amazing. So okay, so we're going to finish, and we've never done this before. we're playing the band we played last week. I honestly, the recording of Slade in '82 from the Apollo, I think is brilliant. And we had a massive response to this last week. We've had these photographs in this week, just to remind you, we got these amazing photographs in from Alexander. And I thought, do you know what? I'm going to play some more Slade at the end of the show. So I'm going to play out with Slade. We'll come back after this for a couple of minutes just to read the comments and give you some updates on how you can support the show, etc. But let's have a bit more Slade. And this is really quite good.
Baby, baby, baby!
There we go. Don't know. It just went blank. And I don't know what I did to fix it either. So anyway, what do you think of that?
Well, the Slade song "I'm a Rocker." I've sang the first verse of AC/DC's "I'm a Rocker" at the start.
When I saw it, I thought, oh, I didn't know Slade did "I'm a Rocker," and of course it's the Chuck Berry version rather than the AC/DC version. But it's what an outfit, absolutely fantastic, and the difference in response from them and Sky is quite funny. But nevertheless, we want to hear more of these different types of music on here. So it'd be great to get some more of these rescued recordings in. It'd be absolutely brilliant. So I'm going to do something we've not done before now because I think it's due, Andy, and I never even told you I was going to do this, but it's not anything dramatic or anything. I just want to thank some people who've been helping us. Now, I'm not going to say the full name. There's probably one or two that you can tell who they are, but I just want to say thank you to Ian. I want to say thanks to the Gin King. I want to say thanks to Dave, Billy, Tom, Cheryl, Tommy, Barry, Chris. Thank you very much for your support. We couldn't do this without you. And well, I'll fix that later. All right.
Okay. Sorry.
Talking about specific things. All of these people have very kindly supported us by buying us a beer, and it's really, really appreciated, and it will really help us next year because we've got plans. So thanks very much for those of you who have done that. Thanks for everybody who's bought a ticket this week. We're up to, funny, we went down a bit, Andy. Got pissed off with us and we folk couldn't make it. So we went down to 59, we're back up to 63 tickets sold. So absolutely fantastic.
That's funny.
That's funny. It is funny. But thank you very much. It is fantastic. And if you haven't bought your tickets yet, there's 17 tickets left, and it's only a month to go. So get your tickets. I don't want folk coming and not being able to get it because it's going to be busy. Lauders isn't a massive bar. It's a big bar, but it's not that big. So if you go into Eventbrite or just look at all over the Facebook group, you'll see the address for that to get tickets. There were some people this week, I don't know if you saw it, some folk were saying, you're having a get-together. Great news. It's like, all right, so maybe we need to be more forthright with our advertising.
Right, okay.
But the other thing I just wanted to remind everybody of is that we do have a YouTube channel. And on that YouTube channel, we both try and curate as much of the music we can find on YouTube. And that is in addition to a lot of the stuff that the Rescue Recording guys have been doing. So there's some great recordings on there. There's only about a dozen videos, but that's all there is. Half of them don't even have sound, but if you're a Jethro Tull fan, a Thin Lizzy fan, a Yes fan, they're there, and you can go and see them on the Apollo stage. But we're really hoping that some more of that comes out in the next few weeks.
Well, just let you know that if you want to buy a T-shirt with, just it helps us. They are on sale now. They're £10 for the next 9 hours.
Are they?
So get in quick.
That's all right,
I think it works out about maybe 15 quid, I think.
That's not bad. It's a lot better than it usually is. A lot better than it usually is.
So that's including postage if in the UK. So if you're in the UK, I think it might even be cheaper because I've looked at it to get it sent to here and it's about 17 quid. So
that's all right, isn't it? That's all right. Yeah. And the other thing, Andy, that somebody texted me yesterday saying that Willie Potts isn't very well again.
Oh, okay. So I was thinking about Willie this week.
Best of luck, Willie. Maybe give him a bell or text him or something. Because if you don't know who Willie was one of the staff at the Apollo, and he's a legend. And he was the electrician, wasn't he? Or
he's the sort of head electrician guy.
Aye. Yeah. He's been a very active member in the group. He quite often gets kicked out. He's a character.
He kicks himself out.
He's too excited and he kicks himself out. We've never kicked him out. Anyway, he's a character and we really are fond of him. So, and his support for the show has been just amazing. So,
just the whole support for everything, really. Yeah.
Aye, he's just a star. So get well soon, mate. I don't know if you watched the show or watching the show tonight, but get well soon. I don't know if you're watching. Please pass on our love and best regards to him if you see him. So that's about it for tonight. Is there anything else? Have I missed anything, buddy? Don't think so.
No, I think that's Is this the new normal? 1.5 hours?
Seems to be. It was nearly 2 hours last week. But Bond's saying, think we need some sweet next week, boys. Now, there's a challenge. Challenge accepted. I'll have a look, see what we can find. Get the sweet on.
I don't know if the sweet's there.
I've not seen anything, but you never know. And then somebody's saying, that just reminds me how good Noddy was. If that's you, Derek, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So we'll have a look for the sweet. We'll have a look, and I've got a couple of other ones I'm quite keen to play. We're going to keep the variety on the folks. We're going to keep that variety going. Don't you think, mate? It's a good thing.
Yeah, that's good. No, that's good.
So, my name is Scott MacArthur. You've been listening and watching Glasgow Apollo Live. Hope to see you all on the 17th of December.
My name is Andy Muir, and I'll not be there, but I'll be with you.
You will be there. Yeah, you will. And remember, if you want to join us for a Zoom chat, we're going on there right now. Every week I get abuse that folk can't find it, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I have no idea. I've tried every week. I've put it in the chat. I've bloody signs again. I projected it on Glasgow University last week on the museum. I've got an aircraft flying across Scotland right now with a frigging URL on it. I don't know what the hell I need to do. I can't find the URL. If you can't find the URL, DM me on Facebook, right? That means direct message for the techies like Andy. DM, direct message, right? And I'll send you the link. We'd love you to join us. I know it's been really frustrating because I can see what's going on in the background, and nearly every week, 2 or 3 people have been trying to get in, but they can't get in. It's just putting my head in. So if you're one of them, it's not that you're a Hibs fan or anything. We just can't get you in. We're trying our best. So anyway,
Hibs fan.
Well, better not go there. I better hit the final video. Good night. See you on soon.